All right. So the way that we're going to start our project is by doing some practice cactus. Practice cactus. On this paper, you have a variety of different drawings of cactus, and I think that's very helpful to look at drawings sometimes instead of real life objects, just because it kind of breaks down the shapes a little bit. On the back is designs that you would find in the Southwest part of the United States, because that is the region that you would find cactuses. So if you look at these cactuses, you're gonna see a lot of similar shapes. I'm tracing them with my finger, and a lot of kind of rainbow shapes again and again, whether they're small or bigger, or have little extra parts to them. That is a great way to start. So I'm gonna just try out some different shapes of cactuses. So I'm gonna start with my rainbow, and I'm gonna put it in a simple pot. Maybe I'll make a rectangle, 2 lines that come in, and then connect them at the bottom. So one of the things that you'll notice on cactuses is a lot of them have ridges where they're separated into smaller parts. You see that a lot, and they all have different kinds of prickers on them, or needles. So think about all the different ways that you can draw them. One simple way is to do repeated lines. Now this looks okay, but to make our cactus look like, ouch, it hurts, I'm gonna go again and put prickers going over the edge of my drawing. Now my cactus looks prickly. So cactuses are funny. They grow things that look like arms. They grow little appendages. Again, I'm just gonna kind of put it in a simple pot. I'm just practicing right now. I'm not real worried about the idea of my pot yet. Maybe a V shape for my prickers this time. And again, I'm gonna put some on the outside edges, peeking over the top, so it looks like my cactus would be prickly. Let's see. So there are some different kinds of cactuses. Succulents, they are in the succulent family, so sometimes the edge is not completely round like that, but it might have some spikes. So I gently drew my rainbow shape and then went over it with some spikes. Now I'm just erasing that first shape that I did, and I got a pretty cool cactus shape. And I'm gonna do some more of those on there. My outside edge is already kind of prickly. Maybe this vase will be more round. If you want to, it's nice to maybe fill the top of your vase with rocks or dirt. That's always a nice little touch. You can put it around it. And something that cactuses have, they have flowers. So if you want the opportunity to add some color to your cactus, you could add some flowers to it. It's kind of a neat thing that cactuses do. Maybe this one, I'll put some of those ridges in there first, and maybe the prickers are more of an X shape. And I'm just repeating the same one. On the outside, I probably wouldn't see the entire X, so I'm gonna do some V's if I was thinking about what it would actually look like. Okay, maybe some dirt. All right, so I got some good cactuses in here, some good practice. I'm gonna move on to my final drawing. And I'm gonna do a cactus nice and big in the center of my paper. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room. I don't want to start my vase at the bottom of my paper. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room. I think I'll do another round vase. And I'll just kind of make a U shape, a little uneven. I'm gonna go across. And I'm gonna start with my main cactus. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room because I know I'm gonna do some dirt down there. And I wanna make sure my cactus is an important part of my picture. He's the most important part. So I went pretty close to the top of my paper. Not touching, but pretty close because I don't want a teeny tiny cactus. And I'll give him some arms. Put on his cactus details, so maybe he's got some stripes on him. And maybe this guy has the V-shaped prickers. I just kind of go along the edge of the lines that I created. And again, put them on the outside, peeking over the top, so it looks like you might get hurt if you were to touch them. And I do have more room, so I'm gonna do more than one cactus. You can probably fit up to 3, depends on how big of a cactus you're going for. I mean, you could, if you can't decide and you wanna do a few smaller ones, that's good, or you could do one big one. I'm gonna do a round one, and I'm gonna start right here on the edge. And this guy I'm gonna do the repeated straight lines. Okay, and then maybe I'll try to do this one. So these are some football shaped leaves. I'm running into my other cactus, so I'm going to overlap. I just stopped my drawing. So I just kind of made some football shapes. And then maybe down here is some smaller football shapes. Okay, add some dirt, rocks. I'm just kind of filling in the bottom with some bumpy, lumpy lines. So it looks like it's got some stuff in it. The next thing I have to do is make a design on my vase. And something that you see that all of these have in common is they all are in rose. That's a very southwestern style of design. So I'm gonna start with some rose. And it doesn't have to be super fancy. You don't have to invent something. You could have blank rose. I could do a smaller one. But all of these are, you know, basic shapes. So maybe there's circles or triangles, and they're repeated all the way across the rose. And I just go down to the bottom. Maybe I make a bigger one here, and maybe this one has some swirls. If I'm falling off, I just kind of pretend where it would be. Maybe there'd be a little one over here too. Okay, and then the last thing I need in my picture is I need a surface for it to sit on. Maybe it's on a table, maybe it's out on a porch, whatever. I want to put it on a surface so it's not floating. So I'm going to start on the edge of my paper, a little bit higher than the bottom of my bowl. And I'm going to draw across. And that gives my cactus a surface to sit on. Now I'm done with my drawing.